Hey everybody, I haven't made a vlog in, I can't remember how long. I'm really losing track of things. Oh, I'm taking off my glasses. Um, my room, or my bed behind me is a disaster, but I really don't care at this point. Today I had school, and I just went to the library for a couple hours, and, yeah, things are going really well. I remember a few weeks ago when somebody had asked me how it was going, I'd get all enthusiastic and be like, oh my god, it's so wonderful. And I still think that way, but, you know, the seriousness and the stress of the program is just weighing down on me a bit. Not terribly whatsoever, but I think I'm an actual student now, which is good. I'm just thinking about, I have a couple assignments. Generally for each class we have a couple quizzes, a couple midterms, a couple finals, oral practicals, and that sort of thing. And for most of my classes I have assignment as well. In hydrotherapy, for example, we have a group assignment to research a different herb that we're assigned, all in our group, and I got valerian, which the only reason I picked that, because I'm a big nerd, is it's mentioned in Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk, the book and the movie. So of course I knew it was for insomnia. And I just have to do researches on it and its use and effects and any contraindications, like anything, any condition you have that makes you not be able to use it in any form. And because I've been researching it, and I don't have insomnia, I can sleep just fine, but staying asleep is kind of a big problem for me. I usually get up a couple times a night, not generally for long, but I don't have a very well rested sleep, and it's shown to help with that. So I'm a nerd. I got some. It wasn't that expensive for 60 capsules, so I figured I'd try it out, and it's an herb, right, so it's not gonna do me any harm, really. Mostly why I want to make a vlog is, here and there I'll read some book written by, like, a trans man, or directed at trans men, and that sort of thing. Would read anything on the subject when I first started coming out, and I think when I read things, it really kind of, I don't really know how to explain this, but I agree a lot with what the author says, and sometimes that deviates from what I actually believe, and I have to keep reminding myself that that is their opinion, and even though I like to hear others' opinions, I find myself agreeing with them more often than not, and then upon reflection I'm like, well, I don't necessarily know if I agree with that or not, and it's just, so a lot of the time, I'll take breaks from reading that sort of thing, but I realized I hadn't read anything by Jameson Green. When I was at the library, I have another assignment for a role play assignment in my personal development class to do with communication, and I was just going to pick up a book or two in dealing with that, but I didn't, and came across Becoming a Visible Man by Jameson Green. I'm sure that most of the guys out there know this book. And, you know, I haven't really read a lot of the biology that it comes to transsexualism. I know there's research in there and out there, and varying research on different topics. But I think it's also because I didn't really understand a lot of it, but I have to take anatomy and physiology. In BC, the standard textbook for that is, here, I'll show you. It's actually in a binder of mine. It's one of those textbooks that you can fit in a binder, and it's huge. Ugh. I can't even pull it over here with with one hand. It's that thick. This is, I think in one of my last vlogs I was bitching about chemistry. Well, that has to do with this. But right now we're getting to chromosomes and DNA and that sort of thing. And what sparked my interest in Jameson's book was that in the beginning of the book he's talking about how he's lecturing to a class and asking them, so how do you know what sex you are? And he goes on to, you know, set a lot of framework for that sort of thing, not coming out as transsexual himself until later on, and he makes mention of that, like, 1 in 20,000 men have 2 X chromosomes and no Y. It just means they're sterile, but no less of a man. Like, it just how he's wording it. Like, he's talking to people. He words it much more eloquently than I do, but I don't want to, like, sit here and read from the book. But basically saying that, like, to these people that a Y chromosome doesn't make you male. And I think it's interesting, especially with what I'm going through in school, learning the anatomy and physiology and now reading up and how it pertains to trans people is just because I can understand it a bit better. It's really kind of interesting because he says that nobody really knows what makes male and female. Like, they think they do, but when it actually comes down to it in the embryo stage of reproduction, nobody can really pinpoint it for sure. And I just thought that was really interesting. And even talking to my classmates, most people, like I was talking to a girl in my class today, who she's dealing with, we were talking about being naive to certain things. A lot of them are being naive to transsexual or transgendered issues because it's never come up before. For a good reason. I mean, like, if they don't have somebody in their life that is trans, and of course it's not going to come up for them. So I was just talking about that and how I think it's important for me to educate people, if I can, like, just my classmates and that sort of thing, if I can help them in their practice later on, because in the Vancouver area there's a lot of trans people. But she was mentioning how, like, her fiance, like, she's white, her fiance is black, and how she's amazed at how much racism still goes on. And we got talking about white privilege, and you think in Canada, you know, it's not going to happen, but it happens all the time. But the basis of our little discussion between me, her, and some other classmates was just being naive to things and, you know, having some biases. Like, she commented how there's a lot of people who come right out and say that they're not racist, they just don't agree with biracial couples, which is racist, and a lot of people don't understand that. So, I just think it's interesting. I mean, I'm what, how far along am I? It sounds like I'm pregnant or something. I totally lost count of how many months on T. It's been since March, so 8 months? Jeez. It's been 8 months on T now, and I think I think why this conversation started between me and my classmate is because I have to have a professional self, which doesn't necessarily mean I have to be fake, but because, oh, and that little noise is Carson messaging me. I'm gonna tell him I'm doing a vlog. He said that Gossip Girl wasn't on tonight. Sorry. I'm just gonna turn that sound off. Yeah, you're just gonna hear it a couple more times. Oh. Anyways, and just mentioning that, I completely forgot what I was talking about. That's how much is going on with me. Seriously, I have no idea. I'm gonna stop this now and go back. Okay, seriously had to stop that, go back and listen to what I was talking about before Carson messaged me. My professional self. I know I don't have to be fake, but I'm worried about, not worried about, but I have to tone it down. Like, I can't be overly flamboyant when dealing with clients. I'm not going to be as open as I am with friends of mine. But I don't want to be boring either. Like, in one of our clinical assessments, because I'm putting on my professional face, in one of those classes, my friend remarked to me, like, I was basically doing the pre-treatment interview. And she was like, Ray, you're a little boring. So I have to know how to interject some of myself in there, but not take it over the top where I'm making somebody uncomfortable. And is making somebody uncomfortable my fault or their own bias? So it's just some things I have to take into account. But this is going almost to 10 minutes, so I'm going to shut up. Hopefully everybody is well, and I hope it stops raining soon, even though it didn't rain today, but it probably will tomorrow because it's Vancouver.